What's up? This is episode 15 of Impostor Syndrome, and today I have David Lindgren.
Hello, how's it going?
Good. You're no relation to Peter Lindgren, is it?
No.
Okay. It's a guitar player from a band called Opeth. I don't know if you're familiar with that.
All right.
Yeah. So, what's your? I guess I didn't give you really a whole lot of background. Basically, the idea of this podcast is to talk to artists, entertainers, people in the general industry about their struggles. So, what's your contribution? What do you do in the industry?
Yeah, so I'm a Swedish content creator. I have been working as a video editor for the last 2 years, and now in August, in 2 weeks, I'm going to start freelancing. So I will do mainly video content. So it's mostly stuff for social media, and it can be like marketing stuff for companies, interviews, filming events, promotional stuff, product videos. So yeah, stuff like that, basically.
And you're also trying to get a job for Gary Vee, I saw.
Yeah, that's right. So yeah, I have my own YouTube channel where I have this vlog called Project Vayner. So I'm basically documenting my journey as a content creator towards getting a job at VaynerMedia. So that's why the name of the vlog. So what I'm trying to do with the vlog is to document the things that I learn along the way and the steps that I take. And it's both like both the technical parts, like how to use different cameras and audio and softwares, but also how to collaborate with different people and reach out to people and stuff like that. Trying to, while documenting this, trying to take steps closer to VaynerMedia. But yeah, so that's.
So what exactly is like, what's the game plan there? Like, have you already reached out to them for a job?
I think I have emailed them like 2 or 3 times when they have been saying that they are searching for people. But the more the time has gone by, the more I feel like I want to focus on developing my skills. Also because I live in Sweden, and for me to work there, I need to get a green card. And that's like something I need to fix in some way. But to be able to reach that point, I think first of all I need to have the skill set to be good enough to work there. So that's what I'm trying to focus on now. And then I think I just will map out the way as I go and try to be creative and find ways to stand out from the crowd, because I think Gary Vaynerchuk, who is the CEO at that company, I think he recognized people that are doing things outside of the box. Like he have hired people that have. I know one guy that wrote like a rap song instead of sending a CV to him and got hired.
I saw that.
Yeah, and then another one was like watching him when he was standing on stage, and then he was standing up and just asked him like, "What do I need to do to get a job?" And he like shouted from the stage, "You're hired. When can you start?"
Yeah, that's kind of something he talks about, where where his other employees will get kind of frustrated because he just will hire people off the street sometimes.
Yeah, exactly.
I've thought about it myself, especially since I live in New York, so I'm right there. But then I'm like, I don't have any skills that I feel would fit that company. I'm a musician. I don't know really what I would. Yeah, so it doesn't make sense to me. It's for me to go after it. But.
Yeah, he hasn't gone into that area so much, except like the podcasting that he does. Yeah, I see that that's kind of an area he hasn't really explored 100%. Like you can, I was thinking the other day, like, would it be possible to take some of the things that he says and then chop them up into a song or something? So
yeah,
just
it's
brainstorming.
yeah. I don't know. I don't think I would really go for it because it wouldn't make sense for me. But and if I did, I would really only be going in with the intention of trying to get in that world. I don't know if it's necessarily something I'd really want to do. So I don't know. Yeah. That's cool. So when do you plan? What's the process like getting the green card to come out here? I imagine it's hell.
Yeah, so when I started with the vlog, I instead of naming it episode 1, I named it 001. So
Yeah.
I kind of had the thought from the beginning that I would do at least 100 episodes before trying to get the job there. I'm at 58 now, so I've done it for a little over a year. So looking forward, I think at least working on this vlog for 1 more year and then kind of take it from there and see what opportunities that comes up. Maybe he's coming to Sweden someday soon. That's about 1 or 2 times per year maybe, so I have to be prepared for that and have an idea if he comes here. So yeah, kind of take it as it goes and just develop as much as I can when the opportunity comes. And yeah, maybe even come over to New York and sit outside his office and wait for him to come out or something. So I don't know.
Yeah.
We'll see. I'll find a way.
Well, that's cool. Do you well, probably don't sit outside the office. That might be weird. But then again, knowing him, it might not be. I don't know.
Yeah.
What was I about to ask you? So do you have like kind of your ultimate goal? Like he has the jets. Do you have something beyond working for him?
Well, that's like my big goal that I have. Another goal that I have is to be able to make money out of YouTube, and that will allow me to move around and to travel the world more and to work from basically wherever I want to. So that's kind of a lifestyle that I'm going for with this step that I'm taking when starting to freelance. So I'm trying to find different ways of making income that are like passive incomes. And I know that there's a lot of work to get it started and to make as much so that you can actually live by it. So
well, also if you consume any of his content, you know that passive income doesn't exist.
Yeah,
you know.
Yeah, it's kind of, it's not really passive income because you need to put in the work either way, but I see it as something that you can that can bring in money even when you're taking a break. You can still get the money during that time, but of course then you need to continue to fuel that income to be able to live by it. So yeah, it's more or less to make it easier to plan my days and plan the hours that I work, when I work, and where I work. So trying to kind of reach that kind of lifestyle.
Yeah. So that's the goal for all of us. But it's I mean I saw on your, I haven't watched a ton of your stuff yet, but I thought it was pretty cool that you're making that scary decision to quit your day job and go full force with it.
I've been thinking about that for a while, actually, not to quit the job because I really enjoyed it, but I've been thinking about freelancing someday in my life, and now the opportunity came. I talked with my boss and I talked about my goals in life, and we kind of he kind of noticed that I wanted to do this, and basically suggested for me, what if you just start now if this is what you really want? So he like helped me and pushed me to take this step, and I'm glad that he did, because I'm still going to work with that company. So he's going to buy hours from me, so like on an hourly basis instead of being hired from him. And it has worked really good, and I really enjoyed working at that company. So it feels like a good solution, and the step doesn't feel so big when doing it that way. So because I still will get income every month, but then I have to fill out the rest of the hours with different jobs to.
So you at least have a semblance of stability.
Yeah, exactly. So that makes it a little bit easier to start and to take this step. So that's good.
And what is that job? The company, like what kind of?
The company is like, to make it easy, you can say it's a web agency. So they are helping companies with their digital marketing. So doing websites and helping out with campaigns, blogs, videos. So yeah, different things to help out their digital marketing, and video has been a part of that. So that's the role that I had at the company.
Okay, so you were already working in your field.
Yeah. And then
good.
I have the CEO at that company. He has a vlog, so he's like documenting his days as an entrepreneur. So that when I started doing this, we've done 150 episodes now, I think. That's what kind of gave me the idea to work for Gary, because now I'm actually practicing the same thing that I will do for Gary if I get a job there, because that's the like goal to be the Swedish D-Rock.
Okay, you'll have to get a new fancy nickname now.
Oh yeah.
Because it's Babin or D-Rock, so you gotta have like your own thing.
Yeah.
Okay, so the main question I ask every guest is how do you feel like you hold yourself back? Like, what's your biggest insecurity in working in this field?
I think for me, it's kind of two things. One of them is I've never seen myself as a person that is good at selling, and I'm more of a marketing person. So just the image that everyone has about people that work in sales, like calling up stuff and trying to convince them to buy stuff, even though I know it's not really how it works. It's more about like building a relationship and helping the customer and seeing what the customer needs and offer that. So, but I've never seen myself as that kind of person. And also, it's just the ability to when you're in a room with a lot of people, to be the person to stand up and to talk in front of people and to take discussions and be able to not argue, but if someone has an opinion, if you don't agree with him, to say the opposite and have the courage to do that. So taking conflicts and stuff like that. So that's something that I think is challenging. And in my area, if I'm working with a customer, for example, maybe he wants to do one thing and I see that there's a better solution to do it this way. I need to be able to say that and believe in myself, because I have like something, some knowledge behind that and why I think like that. But I feel like it's easier and easier the more I learn, because then I feel more secure, and I have something to point to and say, I think this because of this. It's not just a random feeling that I have. It's actually based on knowledge and experience. So that helps a lot. But yeah, that's a challenge for me, I think.
Yeah, I have similar struggles. It's I guess we both suffer from not being super assertive. Yeah. Is there a cultural aspect to that too? Because like, I know here in the U.S., it's we're kind of associated culturally with being very assertive, so that's why it's difficult for me. I feel like there's more pressure for me to be more of an assertive person because of my culture. But that's also, I know in other cultures, there's like a certain politeness. Like England is very, struggles with that. Is it similar in Sweden?
Yeah, I think it's a little bit cultural, because if comparing Sweden to USA, for example, we are we're kind of shy here compared to other countries. If we see something on the street, something happening, we rather talk to each other and whisper about it instead of saying something to that person. And I feel like Americans can just like shout out what they think sometimes.
It depends.
Yeah.
Because you're probably getting a filtered version of it. But I mean, especially I live in New York, so it's more apparent here.
Yeah.
But if you go out the Midwest, it's going to be super, super polite, or same in the South. It's very, they have a similar culture, and like it's super, super polite and low conflict. But yeah, definitely here in New York, for sure. People are much more assertive.
And we're kind of afraid of conflicts here in Sweden, so that's maybe one of the reasons why I think it's hard, also because we don't really practice it so much if you're not that kind of person that it comes naturally.
Yeah. But in business, you kind of have to be. That's the struggle. That's the tough part about it.
Yeah, that's true. And like for me, when doing this vlog episodes, and I'm doing live episodes as well, doing that for the last 6 months, and those things has really helped me with just like connecting with other people, especially when I'm talking English, because it's not my natural language, but to get used to like uncomfortable situations, and when something is live and I know that people will see it afterwards, and I see my own mistakes and stuff, but it has really helped me to be more secure and to get better at English also, but to know how to get the message through, basically.
Well, you speak it pretty well. I notice most Swedish people speak it well. Like, especially compared to my Swedish is non-existent. So
yeah, that's probably better than your Swedish.
Yeah, because you guys, I mean, that's an unfortunate part of my culture, is we don't really learn other languages. They teach us a little bit of Spanish, and they require us to take a language in high school, but most people take it because of the requirement, and then completely forget it after it's done. And but over there, like, you guys speak multiple languages, right?
Yeah, we learn 2 languages in school, so it's English, and then you can choose between German or French. I think you can do Spanish as well, but it's not something that you need to do. And I think French and German is just for 3 years or so. I took German, but I don't really remember so much from it, to be honest.
Okay. Well, if you go over there, they speak English anyway.
Yeah.
Over in Germany. That's the only time I've been to Europe was Germany, and I had no issues because they pretty much all spoke English.
Yeah.
It was like, yeah.
Yeah, probably a bigger problem if you go to France.
Yeah, I think they're a little more. Well, I thought they all pretty much speak English too, anyway.
Yeah, I feel like they do, but they don't really want to because they want to make a statement that French is better.
Well, yeah, you don't want to have to accommodate us.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I think a lot of the world does. So that's definitely an ambitious project you have going on there, trying to get out here. What got you started in this world, in this video world?
Yeah, so if I go back to the roots, I think I was 11 or 12 or something when I borrowed my dad's video camera, and then me and my neighbors went out and filmed stuff. At that time, we were watching a lot of Jackass and Dirty Sanchez, and we tried to make like similar videos like that. Yeah. But as you can imagine, we were just kids, so it's not really that tough things that we did. It was more like, oh, we were jumping from a roof down on a mattress, and the roof was only 2 meters high or something. So yeah, but that was kind of the start, and I got the interest for filming, and I also had a friend that he was doing a lot of things, kind of parkour, doing backflips and stuff, and also with his bicycle and filming that, and that also got me inspired to film. But then it has kind of come and go during my childhood. When I grew up, I took a course in school in video, and then I didn't start working with it until 2 years ago. And before that, I was actually studying. I wanted to work with graphic design, and when I was searching for job, a lot of the companies said that, or they asked if I could do web development as well, and I couldn't do that. And so then I thought to myself, well, if I study web development, I have a bigger chance to get a job because then I have a broader base. So I started study web development, and that got me an internship at the company. And when I got to that company, I said that I wanted to work with graphic design, and that was my interest. So he let me do a lot of design stuff, and I really enjoyed that. And then at the end of that internship, I was going to search a company for the next internship, and then he asked me if I wanted to come back to that company and help with his vlog that he just started. He just had done 10 episodes at that moment. So, and that sounded really interesting. So I got back there and I did the 15-week internship helping with this vlog, and then I got hired. So that's the company that I've been working for the last 2 years. So it's kind of it's been going back and forth, and then I ended up there, but I really enjoyed doing it, and I enjoy storytelling and seeing people feeling something when they watch the things that I do, either if it's like entertainment or inspiration or knowledge, just giving some kind of value to other people that motivates me to continue, and also the creative part of working with a video and creating stuff. So
have you thought about going into more like narrative stuff, like actual films, or are you pretty much just set on doing like the vlogging style stuff?
I think I'm actually more into vlogging and micro content for social media instead of the long form content that you mostly see on TV. So yeah, I don't know. Maybe that will change over the years, but right now I'm very focused on YouTube and the short form videos. And I think a lot of people consume video that way also.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's just something that I'm into.
I mean, that's kind of where the market is now,
Yeah.
I gotta start doing it a little bit too.
Sorry, I didn't sleep well last night. Yeah, what I'm probably gonna start doing is cutting this podcast up into snippets to create this game right now. Like, I don't know what to do, but I can do that because right now video editing it takes forever because my computer's just not built for that. But once I build that, I'm probably going to get more disciplined about creating that micro content, and because that's like the lifeblood of working in actually just existing in general on the internet now.
Yeah, you kind of don't really, if you want to stay relevant, you don't really have a choice, because if everyone else is doing it and you're not doing it, you kind of falling behind. And I think for the micro content part, I've been trying to do that myself, trying to like chop up pieces from discussions and live episodes and share them on Instagram. But I think you need to have some kind of template and some kind of process for doing that and being productive with it. And that's something that I'm focusing on right now to be able to get more out of the long form content, because I know that there's a lot of like small stuff that will be valuable for people that I want to share. I just need to find a productive way to get that out from the long form content. So yeah.
Yeah, I mean, because of the nature of this podcast, like, there's definitely moments where stuff. So that's right now it's not economical for me to do it because it takes so much time for me to edit video, the rendering. But yeah, because I can't see myself. Maybe I'm just too chicken to do like what you do, the life vlogging. Like that's just, I don't. It scares me. Which means I should probably do it, but
it's time consuming. That's for sure. I've noticed it saves a little bit of time when you can plan ahead and when you can save stuff and have like templates and presets and project folders that you prepare and stuff like that. So yeah, that's like a daily struggle trying to find ways to optimize the workflow and to make it as efficient as possible.
I have that with my music, and like I do like weekly covers, like I do like guitar covers every week. That I have pretty much down to a science. But those are also shorter, they don't take as long to render. But chopping up the podcast is less of an intuitive process, because it's like I think the big challenge is I have to sit there and watch the podcast again to find the good bits to cut out, and that's where I'm like, this almost seems like it's not worth my time, because that's going to take a lot of time to chop them up. But and I need to like find a free intern or something, somebody that could do that. Because so how'd you find Gary V?
I found him through the work that I am working for at the moment. So when Matthias, which is the CEO, told me about the vlog, he showed me Gary and said basically that I want to do a vlog like this, but in Swedish and here in Sweden. So that's kind of when I opened my eyes for Gary. And after that, I first looked at his stuff and trying to learn how to document another person's life, and mostly looked at that part, like how he edit and what kind of angles he had, what music he used and stuff like that. But then the more I looked at it, the more I started listening to what Gary says, and I got more and more convinced that if I would do the same thing for him, that would be really cool, because then I would be able to reach a couple of goals that I have. So both work with video and also to live in USA, in New York. That's a dream that I've had since I was a little kid. And also I feel like that company has so many like ambitious and creative persons at VaynerMedia. So just being surrounded by them every day, that will affect the way I am and what I can do, because I feel like you turn into the environment you are at and the people you hang around with. So yeah, just a lot of different reasons to work there. So that's basically why I put that up as my goal.
Have you come out here yet? Like, have you been to New York?
I've never been to New York. I've been to the States for the first time 2 months ago or 3 months ago. I went to Denver that time, but yeah, still waiting for the first New York
Denver.
trip.
You're a little of that. To Denver.
No, not real, but I actually talked with a guy on Instagram, and he reached out to me because he saw that I had this goal that I wanted to work for Gary, and then he was suggesting that we should do a collaboration, and that idea ended up in me taking a flight over to Denver, being there for 2 days, creating content for him, and then going back to Sweden and worked on Monday again. So
wow,
that weekend was pretty crazy, but it's just a proof that what Gary talks about, that you can reach out to people and like do collaborations, and good things can happen if you're using social media the right way. And that's something that I really changed how I use it since I started to follow Gary. And before, it was just for like entertainment for myself and checking what friends does. But now I use it more like a tool to network and to find clients and find people to collaborate with, and to get knowledge from other interesting people that are in the same or similar situations. So yeah, Gary has really changed the way I use social media.
Yeah, I've gotten better at it from watching his content. I'm still, I fully admit, I'm not up to, I'm not at the level I should be with my social media use. I definitely like it's something that I do because I have to, but I really hate it. Like I hate the social media stuff so much. But yeah, it's like it's a necessity. It's like any other job. There's an aspect, you just have to kind of drudge through. Oh my goodness, I should have slept more last night. Sorry.
Yeah, but it has its ups and downs. I think a lot of people are complaining about social media because they see like the bad stuff or the bad behaviors that comes from it, and how people are faking stuff, and then people that look up to those, they think that's the reality, and it's kind of creates a fake world, because you don't see, people don't share everything on social media, so you only see one version of it. So, and also it's easier to share bad news as well. Like if some things is happening, if someone is hating or on someone or something, that can also spread quicker. And yeah, so definitely has negative sides as well. But I think I talked with a friend about it yesterday, that I think it's kind of a tool. If you compare it to a chainsaw, you can build a house with it, but you can also like kill people with it. So
yeah, exactly.
It depends on how you use it.
I mean, the only difficult thing is, it is true that with social media, things that are negative trend more. So that there's, I think there is a certain responsibility that the people that run those sites do have to figure something out. I don't even know. I don't know enough about that world to know how that could even be fixed, because I don't know how much of it is the algorithms, how much of it is just human nature.
Yeah.
I know the one thing that does disturb me is that, and this is something I'm very mindful of, like especially when I'm on YouTube, is how tailored the things are to you, to your preferences. Like it's like almost too tailored to like what your preferences are, and you're in a bubble and not realizing it. Like,
yeah,
it's also a good setup for a Black Mirror episode, I feel. I don't know if you watched that show. That's actually, did you watch that show?
No, not really.
Okay. So they had an episode this past season about just that, like the social media, like the issues with social media. But yeah, at the end of the day, it's your own discipline more so than the platform.
Yeah, I think so too.
Yeah. So, I guess, so the other question I usually ask, if it fits in, because a lot of times we go on tangents and it doesn't get there, but you kind of talked about your biggest insecurities. What do you feel like is your biggest asset in this business?
Yeah, I usually say that it's the creative part, because I feel like when I do stuff, I never run out of ideas. I feel like there's always something that I want to do. I always see ways to do stuff in a different way. And then, of course, a lot of times is the lack of knowledge on certain things that kind of stop me from reaching what I want. Maybe I see a effect that I want to do, and the first time I try it, I don't really achieve what I want to achieve, but the only way to get there is to just continue to try until you get better at it. But so I think like a big asset is the creative part, and I'm usually pretty disciplined as well. I feel like I'm organized with the stuff that I use, like both physical but also like on the computer, how I organize stuff and how I sort my files and stuff like that. And
that's a huge thing.
Yeah, I feel like I can't work when I'm not organized with those things, because it gets all messy in my head. So
yeah, I don't know how I did it, because for years my computer was just a disorganized mess, like just files every which way. And then I finally like 2 or 3 years ago, I took a whole day, and I just organized all my files. It took the entire day.
Yeah.
I was so mentally just like tired that like the only thing I could do, I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna go see the new Fast and the Furious movie because I need something stupid,
Right.
to distract my head. Because like I couldn't take in any information after that. But like my workflow is so much better now from doing that.
Mm.
But
I've heard somewhere that like humans take like 3,000 decisions each day, and I think that when working with something that requires a lot of mental energy and a lot of concentration, you need to limit the amount of decisions that you take on stuff that don't really matter. So you can put your energy into the creative parts and into the stuff that matters, and just trying to streamline the other things and create good habits for the stuff that you just have to get done, but you don't have to do it different ways every time. So trying to do it the same way every time to optimize it and to make it faster, so you can put more energy and time into the stuff that matters.
Yeah, that's why I'm finally building that new computer, because like I'm gonna be going into some debt to do it, but I think it's worth it because I'm noticing like my workflow is so bad right now because I have to do so many things to counteract like the inefficiencies in my computer, and so I'm working against it, and I'm just like I realized it's like I'd be screwed if I all of a sudden what if I met Spielberg tomorrow and he's like, oh, I want you to do a movie for me. It's like, oh, I need to build a new computer so that I can be efficient and do this big Hollywood film. We'll see.
Yeah, but I think it's worth spending money on it if you're able to, and you can just, what you can do is to spend less money on the things that don't matter so much. That's something that I'm focusing a lot on, trying to like ask myself, is this helping me towards my goal? Then it's worth spending time and money on. If it's not, then maybe I can find an easier solution for it. Like, for example, I don't have a TV at home, or I don't have a car, or I don't watch Netflix or stuff like that, because I feel like it doesn't really help me, and it's just a cost. It's just like for entertainment, and I know I can watch YouTube for free, so
yeah, that's pretty much how I do it. I use YouTube. Yeah, I don't have cable. I mean, anybody who has cable now, you're a sucker. But that kind of dovetailed into another question I have culturally. Is there a lot? I mean, I think from what I hear, like in like Scandinavian countries, the culture is much less consumerist than we are here. So like, how bad is it in your culture with the keeping up with the Joneses thing that you hear Gary talk about all the time? It's a very common problem over here. Is that big over in Sweden too?
I never watched that, actually, to be honest. But I think that like keeping up with, I guess it's kind of influencers and stuff like that. It's
maybe you're misunderstanding the quotation. The idea of the keeping up with the Joneses is that the Joneses bought a new car, so now you have to buy a new car that's better than theirs. So like that's a very common thing here. Like, is that as big of a problem out there with the Swedish culture?
I don't really know, to be honest. I think it exists, of course, but I don't know how it is compared to how it is in the States.
Yeah, I'm just curious because like you hear about it. I hear the comparisons all the time, like between how we are in Europe. Like there's a lot of criticism about America in that realm compared to like how European culture is. So I was just curious from a firsthand. But I guess if you haven't been in America, you wouldn't really know.
No.
So. Okay, well, I guess we're getting closer to the end. I kind of asked you all the main questions I ask everybody usually. So where can where can the people find you? What's the YouTube I should plug?
Yeah, so my account name on YouTube and on every social media account that I use is David Lindgren 89 in one word. So yeah, I try to keep it simple. So my name and the year that I'm born. So yeah, with that you can find me on YouTube, Instagram, LinkedIn, or LinkedIn maybe it's just David Lindgren. But yeah, YouTube, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook. I'm mostly active on YouTube and Instagram, I can say.
Okay, that's good. And hopefully we can get you some more followers so that maybe that'll help you get that job at Vayner.
Yeah.
Oh,
That
who
would be
knows?
great.
Maybe he'll. Well, would you prefer what if he builds an office in Sweden? Would you want to stay, or would you want to move out here still?
I think I wanted to move out because I've always been curious about working in another country. But that will probably be a good way in if he started an office here in Stockholm.
Yeah, and just temper your expectations about New York, because I meet a lot of immigrants out here, and they always tell me like they have this vision of like New York. And I'm always like, nah, it's not even close to what, like, you guys are definitely sold a different image than what it really is.
Right.
So, that's cool.
Yeah.
All right,
I'll have to find out.
Yeah. Well, you can always come out and visit.
Yeah.
That'll be part of your vlogging.
Yeah. That'll be a good episode.
All right. Well, thanks for being on, and hope everything works out with Vayner.
Yeah. Thanks for having me.
All right. Take care.
Yeah, you too. Bye.
Bye.